Hi everyone, Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thank you so much for being here. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement of the Libra collective. Everyone is welcome though. I will pull tarot and oracle cards and share channeled messages as I receive them. Now, I wanted to do a reading because I wanted to kind of look deeper on something that came up in your weekly reading. Okay. Now, what came in was Money Magnet, hello, yay, Path of Ease, and World of Luxury. Okay. Now, I was very intrigued. These are amazing cards. You also had, there's, something this week maybe that you're navigating a little bit of a difficulty in a relationship. It could be any type of relationship. It doesn't have to just be romantic. Generally, in my readings, it's not romantic, but we look into that a little bit. So I would like to dig a little deeper and get some advice regarding this Money Magnet, World of Luxury, and Path of Ease. The Path of Ease came in as something that we may not be seeing right now. And we were encouraged in that reading, which we are now extending into this reading, to find a way maybe that maybe we don't have to work. The whole saying, work smarter, not harder. It was something along those lines. Okay. So I do want to just dig in further with you on this and see what comes out. So let's get right into tarot. All the decks I use are down below. And right away, you have a King of Clarity. You have the King of Swords. Okay. So you had a lot of kings and queens in that reading. And I'm not surprised to see a King of Swords now. Not the same. You didn't have this one in the weekly, but yeah, this is really, so for a money magnet, this is about you being a magnet for financial opportunities, whether it's promotions, pay raise, repayments, or even someone offering you a financial loan. This is about money flowing your way right now, that money magnet, okay? Money flowing your way. Now, this is going to, of course, ask you to be disciplined, be strategic, and be balanced in your decision making. And you really do need to do what's best for you. And that may not, please everybody around us, but it could also be uncomfortable, by the way. Doing what's best for you might look a little different than how you've done things in the past. And that could be why this is better than, what you might be currently experiencing. Let's see what else we have for the Libra Collective. King of Swords, very truthful, honest, honest in about his own limitations too. Even it's not just about thinking he's always right or anything. It's he's honest. The flip side of that, where his strengths don't lie, but he's definitely one who's going to give credit where credit's due, including to himself. This is someone who's very confident and organized in all ways, really. And we have the Queen of Cups. And then we have this beautiful balance. The King of Swords and the Queen of Cups, love that. This is what's underneath that World of Luxury card. And doesn't the Queen of Cups look like she's living a life of luxury, right? And this is someone who is also very intuitive. She's able to actualize her dreams, and she sees things that maybe others would see as stumbling blocks as stepping stones. Okay, that's how I perceive the Queen of Cups. And yeah, she doesn't, when it comes to her, it's like anything is possible. She's making it so. She knows that she's only limited by her own imagination, and her imagination is limitless. So it's, it's fabulous. But this is what's clarifying the World of Luxury. This is about you reaching a point where your hard work's paid off. You're reaping the rewards of your work. This is coming with a strong mastery of your field and financial independence. You don't get to be king and queen status by just doing it the old way, or by following the leader. You are the leader, right? In that circumstance. Let's see what else we have. When it came to Path of Ease, okay, Path of Ease here. There's new clarity coming in for you, and it is about how something could be made more clear or easier. it's like a breakthrough, really, is what it feels like. So this is about the path ahead being clear with no major obstacles in the way. This is about you giving your best effort and experiencing very minimal struggle, resistance, or stress. This is about you finding yourself living a simpler, more peaceful life, one that is more attuned to you, really, the real you, your strengths and your challenges. We all have them. Okay, bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Swords. So that's the Ace of Clarity, the Ace of Truth, the breakthrough, right? This is a new beginning. This is a brand new idea. I love seeing that clarify the path of ease. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I can even come up with a better card for that if I tried. What else do you have? And the top of the deck, and then bottom of the deck. Top of the deck, you have the 10 of Cups. Look at that. This is the happily ever after card. This is dreams coming true. For some of you, this might be randomly specific, but you are getting a new car. I do have that coming in right now, clairaudiently. And bottom of the deck, you have the Queen of Wands. And nothing's stopping that Queen of Wands, right? I say that every time I see this card. It's true, though. This is somebody who is very determined, very passionate, very self-assured, very courageous, confident. This is somebody who they go for it, you know? But I love that you have that with the King of Swords. Okay, that's what I love. I kind of feel like I want to do, now we're going to do this way. So we have the King of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the Queen of Wands. Okay, so there's a clear way as far as, yeah, you realize maybe, oh, I am attracting a lot of opportunities. You're a money magnet right now. I can't stress that enough. If it's not money, it's like actual opportunities that could lead to a new way of being, new confidence, new just dreams coming true with this 10 of Cups. So the Queen of Wands, they may not necessarily have a plan, but the King of Swords does. So this is what's great about having them in the same column. What else do we have? World of Luxury, Queen of Cups. Now clarified by, two cards. Okay, so I was going to do top bottom like I did, but we'll just do this. Knight of Swords and the 5 of Wands, which was sideways, so we'll talk about that. The Knight of Swords, it's really kind of wanting to go for it, just, all in. It can feel rushed and impulsive, but it's not if you actually have a plan, and then when that opportunity comes, you pounce on it, then it's not impulsive. It's actually, you were just waiting for the right moment. And some of you are getting that right moment. Now, the 5 of Wands on the side like this, we're going to talk about both energies. So this is one where, yeah, there maybe has been some obstacles, challenges, right? Could have even been a power struggle or self-sabotage. But you'll see that they're actually not, it's not what you think. There's something here that isn't what it seems. This is about avoiding that conflict. It's not avoiding it just for the sake of avoiding it, but it's like not engaging in power struggles. It's peace, actually. It's cooperation. They're learning. They're playing a game, it looks like. Right? They're trying to, maybe they're trying to even, yeah, I mean, look at this is organized. Look at the pile of snowballs is all organized. Their wands are neatly stacked. They've decided to put things aside, literally on this card, and focus on what really matters. And they're actually finding a new way to work together. Now, not everybody is on the same page, though. I will say that. There's maybe one person who is like, you may have to convince them, or they may need a little more proof of something even. And maybe you're the one who needs a little more proof of something before you rush in or go in. Path of Ease, Ace of Swords, High Priestess. Okay. High Priestess, you're feeling your way through this. This looks clarifying that Ace of Swords. Oh, the Queen of Swords. Look at this. I love this. So in this corner, ding, 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 no. This lower corner, you have the Queen of Swords. And in the upper corner over there, you have the King of Swords. And I feel like things are coming together. This is organization. This is the clarity, the structure. The High Priestess too. They are really like, when they need to tune the world out, they do it. they turn their back on all of it, right? And they rely on their own intuition, their own wisdom, their own experience with life in general. Queen of Swords, the Queen of Clarity, the Queen of Decision Making. This is someone who knows that, things worth it generally don't come easy. However, one of the whole purpose, the whole point of this reading, why it's so unique and why I wanted to go into it is, but it doesn't have to be with some big struggle now. Things ease up. This is, again, it's about not having those obstacles. That Five of Wands, it's not quite upright, but things are taking a turn for the better because it's at least on its side, Some of the people or some of the pieces are now at least lining up for you. Even if it's not perfection yet, everything is coming together. You're using the best of your abilities, everything. Maybe you're even working with a team in some way, or you're considering that. That could even be the advice here, Libra. What else do we have? I'm hearing pomegranate. And then I just saw 1111 on the timer, which, follow your intuition, being divinely guided. You may be seeing 1111. And let's see what else we have. Actually, I did an 1111 reading and a 1212 reading. So you could look at those if you'd like. I also did your yearly reading. So if you want to see month by month, and there are timestamps for it, so you can watch whatever month you want or the whole thing through. But I did that reading last week for you. It posted last week. What do we have here? I'm getting the word counting. So there's something here about maybe you're counting on something, or we have the Three of Wands in reverse and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Now, you don't usually get a ton of reversals. I do that on purpose. I have the cards all upright. That's how I want them. But when I shuffle, if they go into the reverse, I know that is a true reversal. And so you have the Three of Wands in reverse. That could be pipe dreams, obstacles, delays, frustrations, an uncooperative energy. So someone or something you could have been counting on, or they were counting on you, is now not focused on the same thing you are, possibly. This could be feeling overwhelmed. There might have been something where something comes out of balance. Okay, so just you're being mindful of that. There could be, and I think it's connected to that Five of Wands there. There could just be this one energy, this one piece that doesn't quite come together. How do we, actually, I want to see, what do we need to surrender to in order to get through that? Often it's some sort of something we have going on. It's stuck, or we're putting out energy. We don't even realize we're doing that. Let's see. What are we surrendering to? Surrender defensiveness and for some of you, it's surrendering a fear of intimacy. So this is about ready to let love in. Okay, so compassionately identifying and beginning to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Doesn't have to just be romance, though. It could be anything, anyone you love in general. I feel for some of you, you're not necessarily trusting that something can be easy and obstacle free. It seems like a dream, right? It seems like too good to be true. We also have surrender defensiveness here. Okay, and this is about defensiveness actually being a sign of weakness. And so to communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear non-defensive response. This goes really well with the whole week, the weekly reading I just did for you. And especially too with this Five of Wands, there's that one person, look, the one who's like, so that one piece doesn't have to be a person, but there's one part that is less clear, less than organized, less than reliable, delayed. Something isn't quite as smooth, right? There's that one thing. It could also be an old pattern, an old routine, an old person, an old habit. It could be something you have even internally or in your immediate environment that's affecting your progress. And I think a lot of you, you're going to know what it is. You know who or what that is, right? That's maybe not great for your growth. So when you're dealing with this one stubborn energy, this is what we need to remember. Keep that heart open and, surrendering the defensiveness. Communicate from a place of truth and of really knowing yourself too, and of self-respect too. We show others how to treat us. So there was in the weekly reading, it did come through that you were dealing with something in a relationship of any kind, doesn't have to just be romantic, it could be any kind, where the best advice is maybe to kind of step back a little and let things settle before having an important conversation or making an important decision, and also not allowing yourself to be pressured, rushed. Yeah, there's definitely a pressurized kind of situation that's going to need you to be very just careful about how you deal with it. Okay, let's see what else we have. So like I said, you're going to know what this is. All right. You could be feeling that's that one thing that's sometimes we get in our own way. We get in our own heads too much, or we just get in our own way. And I feel like let's actually get a divine direction card on that. Let's get advice on that, please. Because my whole point with this reading is like, this money magnet, world of luxury, path of ease, let's get that coming true. How do we do that? Right? How do we make that a reality? How do we work with that energy? And if there's anything in the way, how do we free ourselves from it or transmute it into something that is something we can work with if it's not already? So what do we have? If you enjoy this reading while I'm shuffling, please do like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, hype the video. All of it helps. Thank you. And you have heart calling. So heart calling, and I also saw the one on the bottom, and it's celebrate. So some of you may be celebrating a move you're taking in the right direction when it comes to something or someone that you love. Something that you love. So this is about revealing what your heart's calling and having everything you need and knowing now is the time to follow your heart's desire. So you're able to move forward. It's interesting because again, they're tying it into love, right? You already had a clarifier about love and now you have another one. And then we have celebrate here. Happy New Year, by the way. It reminds me of 4th of July or New Year's here. And this is about celebrating the progress you've made and appreciating all you've already done and how far you've come. Also, what came through in that weekly reading is it was just such a big, impactful reading. I think it's the first time I'm ever doing basically an entire reading about the last reading, kind of branching off from that. It's an extension. But one thing that came in was that whole notion of being grateful, right? Living with gratitude. And if, like when we're grateful, we attract more for which to be grateful. In fact, here's the card right here about gratitude. That's how we become a money magnet too. That's how we get out of that too, that scarcity mindset. We focus on gratitude. We don't focus on lack. We focus on what we already have. We focus on the gifts to bring in more gifts. That's called investing your attention wisely, right? So we write a list maybe of 10 things you're grateful for. Feel the gratitude. Really feel it. Hold that feeling. Experience it in your body and start to notice more things to be grateful for. Because when we make that a daily practice, when we make that a regular practice, gratitude attracts more to be grateful for. All right, what else? Let's see what else we have for you. And if you've been looking for a personal reading, my website, schoolhouseintuitive.com, has been being worked on for the last 2 weeks. So it will be back after the new year. Don't worry. It'll be back sometime in the new year. Oh, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. You've closed out that cycle of scarcity, of lack, of things just don't go well for me. Or, if that's you, maybe that wasn't you, but if it was, it's like you're deciding you're going to get in that driver's seat. And you know what's interesting? I'm going to tell you, this is the other card that came out for you was this for the weekly thought stoppage. Now, what's really fascinating about this one, friends, is it says, okay, so are you running negative tapes in your head? You're the one in control of your thoughts. Tell yourself, stop, negative thought, get out of here. You're the one driving your bus, and then you get the Wheel of Fortune. So it's just kind of, again, get in that driver's seat. Don't be a passenger in your own life. I say that all the time on this channel. It says stop being a passenger, start taking control. Our power, it doesn't just go away. We give it away. We don't want to be giving our attention or our power away, right? We want to be from a place of empowerment, making informed, empowered decisions confidently. What else? I feel like that, yeah, and it, it makes sense to be getting the Wheel of Fortune. We're at the end of a year, right? So this is a good card of, cycle ending. So we have luck, success. Again, a lot of you, you are a money magnet at this time. You will have a reason to celebrate. I mean, you even have the card celebrate. I don't know that you're necessarily seeing it, but you have to believe it. You have to believe it more than anyone for it to be so. What else do we have? Oh, we have one card fell out. I didn't need it to, but it says, in order to navigate the complexity, you must loosen your grip and be adaptable. Gain a new perspective. Okay, let's get another surrender card. Surrender your fear of change. That, for some of us, that is what's in the way. It could be clouding our whole judgment, everything, because this is about the universe reminding you you're cared for. Okay, whether you're afraid of change in your job, health, relationship, if you fear aging, death, repeat the affirmation. I have faith that all is well. And one affirmation I really like is everything is exactly as it should be in this moment. And I really, and the more you work with affirmations, the more you believe it. And then when you believe it, you set yourself up nicely to receive, right? To receive the more for which to be grateful. All right. So you have the Seven of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. This is like, with the Seven of Swords, this can be self-betrayal, betrayal, dishonesty, running away from problems, running away from, I think for somebody, both of these cards came up in the weekly reading, and it feels like someone may be trying to, they don't want you to change. It's not necessarily your fear of change. It's people around you or an environment even that's not conducive to your growth. And that is something that must be overcome. It felt like someone was trying to kind of pass on a responsibility onto you that's not yours. So be very mindful that you're not giving away your services for free, or letting other people's energy stand in your way in some way. Maintain your boundaries. Okay, that's also very important. What else do we have? It felt like you were doing the majority of the work in something. So if it's a relationship or at work, that's something that needs to be, you may need to clear the air, but do so when the timing feels right. All right. We have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, that's that wise investor. This is just amazing to me, because the King of Pentacles is the one I was talking about in the weekly reading, where often we overlook this part of the King of Pentacles, but this is somebody who senses when something's off. They are also intuitive, but a lot of us, we forget that. All the kings and queens are intuitive in their own ways. Okay, so this is about somebody who they're a solid leader. They know when to invest. They know when to retract their energy. They're providers. They're generous. But, they also know that you can't just give and give and give without getting something in return. It can't all be about just the sacrifice, right? You have to fill your cup, so to speak, right? Not to say some trite cliche here, but you do, you can't operate from an empty tank, right? You have to take care of yourself. And for some of you, this is randomly specific, you need to focus on what you're ingesting, putting in your body, nutrients, etc. Are you getting enough natural light? Are all the things that keep us healthy and strong? So I am getting, for some of you, that maybe you're not quite wanting to address something right now because you're not feeling well physically, which would be the King of Pentacles too, right? Things going on with your physicality and even in the structure in an environment, the way things are organized, right? It might not be working for you anymore. You might be one who you're like, as long as I'm doing all the work anyway, like with this Three of Pentacles, I might as well do it myself. Like I might as well go be an entrepreneur then, right? So I know a lot of you, that's your goal. Let's see what else we have. Now, underneath that path of actually, no, I want to get a fortune oracle card. So you could consider this a money and career reading for, you know, ending this year and going into a new year. And I feel like it's really calling us to really reflect on what do we need to leave in 2025 as we open up to 2026, right? And we have flowers, card 11. This is about being generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. And for a lot of you, you'll be celebrating because you're following your heart's calling, right? You had those cards. What else? There's thorns though, right? Because every rose with its thorn, right? So there is flowers, but then there are also thorns. So beware. This is about weathering the challenges ahead and bringing in a new positive future. Now, let's get into that third column here. Woo, wow, jumper. It's the Fool card. I thought it would actually be the Death card. It's actually the Fool card. So, we talk about closing. I just mentioned, what are you leaving behind and closing out on 2025? Who or what is staying on that other side of the door? And the timer just changed to 26. That is so cool when I said that. So, like, that's it. We're focusing on 2026. 2025, year of the snake. You're shedding, you're transforming. 2026, oh, because that was a 9-year too, and the year of the snake in Chinese astrology. But 2025, it's about going forward. I think it's the year of the horse, and well, when it's February, whenever it changes in February. But 2026 is a 10. It's a 1. So because 2 plus 2 plus 6, that's 10. It reduces down to a 1, right? Again, 10 of or 10 Europe, sorry, Wheel of Fortune you had. I'm like, I'm all excited. I'm stumbling over my words. But Wheel of Fortune you go from a Wheel of Fortune, you go to an Ace of Swords. You go from a 10, completing a cycle, 2025, to a 1. 2026 is a 1. And it's going to teach us about that importance of, in order to have the new beginning, first we must close the door. Now, that's something that we hear about all the time, right? Particularly in tarot readings and spiritual settings. We hear about that. We know that, right? But do we know it? Do we really live by it? Or is it just words? All right. So I don't come to this table to say words, right? I want it to mean something. I want it to help. I want it to have value. And I feel like that's how we're looking at our lives, And while on one hand, here comes the Libra in me. On the one hand of the scale, on the one side of the scale, we have the fact that, 2025 moving to 2026, big deal. It's just a new day, another day, a new calendar, right? Big deal. But at the same time, I feel like this is a natural time and a cause and a reason for us to stop, assess, analyze, see where we are with things. And is this how we want to start a new year? Is this how we want to proceed? Whether it's a new day, a new year, a new whatever, it's about the idea of that new beginning, that new start, that fresh energy, that hope, that spontaneity. It's our focus. Now, what else do we have? I get all excited. The Fool card. Why do they travel lightly? Those of you who watch me, you know why. Because what do they carry forward with them? All together now. Lessons, not luggage. Right? They're not bringing in the baggage. We can't have the celebration. And look with the circle here. That you see that generally in the 3 of Cups. It reminds me of like celebrating a new cycle, a close of one cycle, closing that door. I hear a door slamming. You know what that is? That's 2025. 2026, grand opening. There it is. And I will be doing a reading on, I think it will be on the 1st, right? Yeah, it'll be the 1st. So our next reading will be on 2026. Maybe it'll be a continuation kind of thing of this. Who knows? Or I'm sure some common themes will come in. Let's see what else we have. Oh, 10 of Wands, putting it down, and King of Wands. Yeah, this is you have been through it, huh? It's like trials, tribulation. They're so close to their goal, aren't they? Actually, I think the way they fell out, I think it's this way. I think it's King of Wands and then 10 of Wands. They didn't stop. They didn't give up, right? They're so close. Look at, they're so close to their little gingerbread castle or whatever it is there. Okay. This is somebody who is an entrepreneur. This is someone who's, they don't look outside for inspiration. They are inspired. In fact, they could find inspiration in anything, right? A flower, even a thorn. They look for opportunities. And you know what's really cool about them too? They always have that salamander there. That shows that they've been through it. And it's like rising of the phoenix, right? And they're coming back out of that fire, out of those flames. You're so close. Many of you are so close. And it's great. That's, you haven't given up. That means, to be that close means you have not given up. I love that. You have 10, 10 now. No, you actually have 10, 10, 10 because you have the Wheel of Fortune too. So that 10, 10 is a sign of a new path. You know, again, that path of ease. And that's what we're clarifying right now, the path of ease. Okay, things are clearing out. The obstacles are being removed. Many of you think, you know, there's more to life than this. Guess what? You're right. You're right. There is. But, you know, it might, again, it's going to call on, it's going to be some behavior change for some of us, right? It's going to be mindset shifts. It's going to be leaving past situations, relationships, environments, etc. You know, we can't do this and that. It's going to be one or the other for some of us. Yeah. What else do we have? Let's get some, let's lighten it up a little with the Hello Winter Oracle. What do we get? Welcome changes. Oh my gosh, time to shake things up. Welcome changes. Yeah, welcome the fact that, again, you're going to be a money magnet and living in a world of luxury here, however you define luxury, and that path that is going to be so much easier. That's what this whole reading is about. I hope you can feel the excitement here. I'm excited. I'm excited because I know that some of us, there have been so many what feel like roadblocks, and like for a lot of us, like health challenges and family stuff and work stuff and finance. It's just been one thing after another, right? Now, I'm looking at this thorns card, weathering all those thorns though, right? Weathering it. Look at what it's leading to, that new dawn. That's like the new dawn you see in that death and transformation card, right? On the death card in traditional tarot. So the weathering the challenges, again, it brought you to a new and positive future. You're laying the foundation right now. A lot of us have experienced the shakeup of the tower, but it's so that we can build a stronger foundation. And we have wrapped up. Yeah, you're close to finishing. Look at that. You can't make this up. Look at that. You're close to finishing, and divine guidance. Look for signs from spirit. Mm-hmm. Wow. It's just, I'm so excited for us. Okay. All right. What else? What else? What else? Tell us more. Tell us more. So I hope this reading is bringing clarity. We have authenticity. You know, that was a theme for us for 2025. Authenticity. Mm-hmm. And so this is about getting to know your true self, showing the world who you really are, and not dimming it, not dimming down, right? This is feeling that liberation that comes with being yourself, living a more authentic life. Let's get you some fortune cookies too. We'll get angel numbers, animal cards. Yep. Once again, perseverance. Your perseverance is being rewarded. You may feel like you're getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. I'm here to tell you that don't give up. Society. So this is saying yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities, new love interests for singles could be part of this too. Now, it says on this card, say yes to all the wonderful invitations. I actually would say no, because you're so magnetic right now. It's up to you get in your Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords energy. You're going to need to sift through, okay? Like you're going to need to be really clear on what it is, where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to be doing it with, before you just blindly say yes, right? You want to make sure you've actually given it some thought. But yeah, you want to be open, right? Definitely be open, especially if you know it's aligned to like your heart's calling, right? And what else? Yeah, twists and turns. Okay, we've had that. We already know that. No surprise, right? No surprise here. So carefully made plans could be thrown out the window. A major change or interruption surrounds you. This is what we're closing out on. Yeah. This is making sure, getting rest, coping with the upheaval. We just talked about the towers. And things are shaking up. Just because, 2025 is over doesn't mean it's magically up. 1/1/2026, all brand new everything. No. Some of that's going to be residual, right? Some of it's going to take a couple of months to really get situated and to really feel that shift of the energy. But I can tell you, it feels like end of February, March is when things really shift. It's just what I've been feeling for a while. I'm going to have to see what the planets are doing, what thing, energy in the world, or astrologically even what's going on, but it feels different, but it doesn't feel different immediately. It feels like from October to like March, there's just been this period. It feels like that's when you start to it's like you feel things are going to change, you sense it, right? But it's not quite there. Page of Cups just fell on my lap here. I bumped it. So yeah, so I think it's going to be more like end of the first quarter. You'll be seeing some real growth, or at least give it 6 to 8 weeks. The new year. It's not that long considering how long you've had to wait. I mean, I know you don't want to have to wait longer, but it's not like you're not going to be doing anything. You're going to be doing things to make your dreams come true. Page of Cups, you could be getting a message that really is something that really connects with, what your heart's calling. Oh my goodness. Remember I said it's no surprise, or there's no surprise. Well, then you get the surprise card. I love how Spirit works and like plays jokes on me. I love that. So anyway, what's great is the card that wanted to come out all by itself, the Page of Cups, there's a surprise. That cup, you decide what's in that. And it's often it's questionable. Is there really a fish in the cup in the traditional tarot card or not? Is it imagined? Does it matter? Because I know it sounds corny, but it's like, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. That's one thing that has actually helped me in life. This is a happy surprise. Dare to dream, right? So a disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searching, or it could be something, again, tied to career or projects. Some of you are retired even. That it's just something you're going to love. It could be a new group even that you're part of, or you're invited to be part of. I feel too, I'm hearing something right now clairaudiently about mindful watching. So maybe you're being mindful about what you're watching, or you're being mindful of the fact that you are being looked upon, or you're watching with something in mind. Like you're being careful about what you watch or believe even. It says you can always ask your guides for help. I can't always intervene without your permission. And karma's at play. That's the Wheel of Fortune. So you can clear karma, or you can cash in good karma at this time. Choose your actions wisely. Yes, as I said, we definitely want to be careful about, we don't want to accept just every opportunity, right? We want to make sure we're being smart. So okay. A timeout's been called. Life's on pause so you can catch your breath. That could be why, maybe like I said, maybe you start out the year and there's something not great right now that you need to deal with instead. Family or health or something, and then it's no longer a timeout and you're like full in it again. Okay. So there's just, for some of you, right? Anything I say is only going to pertain to some of you. Only take what resonates and respectfully leave the rest. Thank you. And you have 1212. This is a sign of your dreams manifesting. I hope this reading has helped, because really you're getting the same messages over and over. This is about staying focused on your goals and on your dreams and staying positive, right? I know we can't always just be positive all the time, right? But I think every day we can at least come up with a few things to say out loud or write down to be grateful for, right? As part of our little schoolhouse homework. All right. And then we have Otter, limitless. There it is. I mean, that's what I said, like the Queen of Cups, only limited by their own imagination, and their imagination is limitless. And here you have a limitless card. And it ties right into your last tarot card, which was the Page of Cups. Again, be the dreamer. You have a happy surprise on the way, something you're going to love. Dream bigger. Okay. So much is more possible than you're allowing yourself to see. So let yourself have what you truly desire. Remember the corny saying, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. I know it sounds corny, but it really feels like that's what it's coming down to. What you think about, you bring about, right? So that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.